Tate and his brother Tristan arrested with 2 women for running a trafficking ring that forced women to create online pornography. Allegations include rape, human trafficking, money laundering, and organized crime. Decades in prison. Accomplices, however, were released and placed on house arrest. Do you know Jeffrey Epstein? For fucking real? Galileo Galilei, another one, house arrest. Galileo Galilei, examined by the Inquisition, and Roberto Bellarmino himself, the great Jesuit. How dare you question our flat earth? We're going to put you on house arrest. You can go see your daughter, the nun, and be very close to her. Widespread speculation that British American Andrew Tate chose Romania as a base of operations because of lax law enforcement and state corruption. Appearing on the podcast The Fellas last year, Tate explained his attraction to the region. I like Eastern Europe as a whole because corruption is far more accessible. I find it offensive that a police officer in England will stop and refuse to take a bribe. Dude, you're just not doing it the right way. I promise you, the fucking cops in England are just as fucking corrupt. You're just not doing it right. There's widespread speculation that the British American... I read that already. High-profile arrests have brought increased scrutiny to Romania. Nothing to see, no connection to Erika Francie Kirk and Romanian Angels, which she brags as being a CEO and or president or founder. Nation's population of 18 million has been a global hotspot of human trafficking for years and remains Europe's top source country in terms of victims. Two-thirds of whom are women and girls, according to various police forces and Eurostat, the EU Statistical Office. Petskaroo, who is Petskaroo? The Tate spokesperson on spin of why Emery Andrew number 3 is there. He said, yeah, Emery Andrew number 3 said, yes, Romania is corrupt, which we all know. He didn't say that's why he went there. Reality on the ground in Romania is much different. In addition to the material poverty and lack of education many women live with, factors such as the country's geographic location, close to the Middle East and Western Europe, coupled with a membership in the EU, facilitate travel and enable international domestic trafficking. Oh, the State Department is regularly criticized. You're very bad. You're very bad. You know what? We're going to do a report on you. We're going to do a report. That's what they do. The latest report published in July of 2022 notes authorities' continuing efforts to improve, but concludes Romania remains a primary source country for sex trafficking and labor trafficking victims in Europe. How many orphan charities is Erika Francie Kirk involved in? Where is it? More than a third of identified sex trafficking victims, according to the report. Oh, the report. There's some teeth right there. The report was written, and more than a third of the victims are children. Romanian officials have been investigated for suspected involvement, said the report. There's teeth right there. Never happened again. Human trafficking and modern slavery become a national sport in Romania, said an anonymous prosecutor. He was not cleared for speaking with BuzzFeed. We have prosecutors, but not enough. Assigned police officers and officers to deal with the cases. Meanwhile, gangs, often composed of dozens of members, each performing specific functions, make millions and have access to resources such as safe houses, firearms, false travel docs, and expensive lawyers. Sounds like the Tate brothers. Arrests of the Tates and their alleged accomplices were the exception rather than the rule. According to local experts, BuzzFeed News spoke to, international politics may have been at play. The United States Embassy is very powerful in Romania, said Alexandru Gitka, a criminal lawyer in Bucharest, commenting on the fact that Tate investigation reportedly was sparked by a tip sent to the embassy in Bucharest regarding young American women who were allegedly being held against her will and assaulted by Tate. Interestingly enough, in his Vatipedia, there is an accusation that a Marine was involved in the whistleblowing. Embassy guard, I don't know. By the way, turns out that this photograph, and I asked, what the fuck is the Sergeant Major of the fucking Marine Corps doing with these Arizona beauty queens? My educated guess is toys for tots, and I'll tell you why later. According to prosecutors, Tate employed lover boy method, popular in Romania, involves grooming the victim for months with false affection gifts, then inducing her into a nightmarish existence of sex slavery. Probably drugging her. To my knowledge, the Tates are still at large. All this bullshit about in and out of court. Gick also noticed that many traffickers charged in Romania tend to be found not guilty or let off with short sentences. Sometimes the trials simply collapse after witnesses change their testimonies. After a few months, these types of prosecutions lose force. The system doesn't even have the capacity to maintain the necessary commitment in complex cases like this. Tate's U.S. lawyers are threatening a Florida-based woman. Florida. Where were we? Hang on a second. Florida. What else occurred in Florida? Rhett, what else occurred in Florida? What dynamic duo were trafficking children in Florida? The connections of Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein, and above them, absolutely invisible. Trump is the fucking president of the fucking United States, in the middle of the Epstein scandal, is completely free and clear, and nobody's heard of the fucking Jesuit-controlled CIA. It's all Epstein and the Jews. The Mossad. The Jews in the Mossad. The Mossad Jews. How many fucktards promoting that? From Candace Owens, the Roman Catholic Black Mulatto Baby Factory. How many people? Oh, it's the Mossad. It's the Jews. Tim Dillon, the homosexual Roman Catholic comedian, political commentator, one of my all-time favorite homosexual Roman Catholic comedian, political commentators, certainly within my top 5. How many Jesuits, lowercase j Jesuits? How much is Jimmy Dore and our beloved straight man for him? We love him even though he doesn't want us too close. Kirby Metzger. How hard do they push the Mossad and the Jews? Twitme Webb made a career out of it. Twitme Webb has made a career out of it. Jesuitess. Twitme Webb made a career out of it. And there's a connection between Andrew Tate, Romania, human trafficking, and Florida. Huh. And Emery Andrew Tate, number 3's daddy, Emery Andrew Tate, number 2, a CIA asset. Maybe even an agent, the way Emery Andrew, number 3, is bragging. Probably not. Probably a trained asset. So, normally assets, they aren't even brought in for training. So, that's kind of a middle gray ground. You're bringing them in and training them. They're getting close to agent status. But Daddy 56, I guess they really weren't give a shit about being too careful with him. Tate's head of security, Bogdan Stanciu, is former Romanian DGPI intelligence, which oversees policing activity, giving rise to fears and investigators that Tate has an inside track into the state's case against him. You think? Stanciu is a witness in an ongoing investigation. For fucking real. And here's the prosecutor that supposedly, tell me he's wearing a purple suit jacket. Tell me he's wearing a fucking Joker purple suit jacket. Other victims are upset that it's taken this kind of a high-profile case to shed the light on Romanian trafficking. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. Leslie Nielsen Freeman.